Hey, what's going on, experts? Welcome to Experts Elevated. This channel was created to help you identify your expertise, establish your authority, and then create your web of influence. And that way you can ultimately use your passion, your skill, or your expertise to build the business of your dreams. Now, my name is Brian Brewer, and I've been in this online game since 2012. I was able to go full-time as a quote-unquote digital entrepreneur in 2016. Now, I had the stereotypical approach to this. I was 32 years old. I was living in San Diego. I was a waiter. And in 2012, my wife and I had our first child. And at that point, it was time to get serious. So I didn't know really anything about building a business online, but I had figured it would probably be the best way to achieve the freedom that I ultimately wanted. Now, I went down a number of different roads, and it's led me to gain a considerable amount of experience and expertise in a wide variety of arenas in digital marketing. And that's what I do now. Now I coach people just like you, either experts or aspiring experts. Now, if you are interested in receiving one-on-one coaching from me, go ahead and check out 100kbrands.com. I'm sure there will be a link around here somewhere. But today's topic, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about creating content. And you can call it content marketing if you will, but really creating content in order to build your tribe and really ultimately get people to buy your stuff, whatever it is that you're selling. And this is one thing that I would consider my superpower because I've developed a very efficient way to create content. I mean, it would be great if we all had a team of 30 like Gary Vee and we could produce content nonstop, effortlessly, 24 hours a day and post 100 times a day. That would be great. That would really help accelerate our business, no doubt about that. But the reality is if we are solopreneurs or even if we just have a small team, we don't have the opportunity to create 100 pieces of content a day, at least not 100 pieces of meaningful content. And I guess that's kind of the point. I don't understand creating content just for the sake of creating content. The way I like to create content is I like to be super efficient, and I use a method that I've developed, and it's all about efficiency, and I call it my ABC content funnel. And really what this is I use three types of content, which I'll talk about in this video. I use A content, B content, and C content. Now, each content level has a specific purpose. C content drives visitors to B content drives visitors to A content, and A content sells our product or services. And I want to talk about my ABC content funnel in just a second, but since this is episode 1 of Experts Elevated, I do want to bring up a really interesting point, something that's really cool and unique about this channel and this brand. As I create Experts Elevated, I'm going to do so in a way that goes against everything anybody would ever tell you to do. I am not going to rely on my built-in audience. I have other YouTube channels. I have an email list. I'm not going to mention this to any of them. There's going to be no cross-promotion. I'm not going to leverage any contacts that I have. I am going to build Experts Elevated using the techniques that I teach in the ABC content funnel and I offer in my private one-on-one coaching sessions. And the reason is simple. You see, building a business online, it's all about attracting the right people. Okay? What you want to do is you want to position yourself in the market. You want to attract people who are likely to buy your stuff and repel everybody else. So when I create Experts Elevated using the tactics that I teach, not only am I going to prove that my system works, that's not really the point of it. The point of it is it really is the best way to build a business, because when everybody who follows you is a customer, you don't have to rely on growing your audience. You don't have to rely on having millions of followers. You just need enough buyers to help you achieve your income goals. And that's kind of what I'm setting out to do when I create Experts Elevated. Now, the ABC content funnel, let's talk about this. Let's talk about really what it is and why it's the most efficient way to create content. So creating content, what I like to do is I like to think about appreciating content versus depreciating content. And what I mean by that is all content takes time to create. So if we're going to put the effort in to create content, Wouldn't it make more sense to create content that gets more valuable with time? It's kind of like compound interest, and it's really the basic principle of investing. And because we're investing time into creating this content, we want to make sure we get a return on our investment. So what I mean by that is, let's take Instagram, for example. There's a lot of talk right now about growing your Instagram. And I don't know where this all stems from, but every time we post something on Instagram, oftentimes we see that influx of likes and engagement in the beginning, and then it kind of trails off. Well, if anyone's been on Instagram for any sort of time, we also know that another thing that is happening is organic reach on Instagram is dying. It's drying up. You don't get the value that you used to when you post something on Instagram. And this change has been slowly happening ever since Instagram went from the chronological feed to the suggested post feed, right? So now, not only is the platform getting worse, but posts are dying. So anytime we put a piece of content on Instagram, it's actually going down in value, okay? Whereas let's take a look at another scenario where we're going to talk about YouTube, for instance. Okay, if I create this video and I put it on YouTube, and in the beginning it's episode 1, there's no viewers, there's no channel, there's no subscriber base. The only views that this video is going to get are the views that I make it have. And what I mean by that is I'm going to go out and promote this using my ABC content funnel to bring traffic to YouTube. I have to seed my YouTube channel. However, as my channel continues to grow, as I continue to put out more content, my channel begins to establish an authority. And as long as I remain consistent in my message and the audience that I want to reach, then my authority will increase. Therefore, this video, even though I'm creating it on August 12th of 2019, it may start getting organic search results in June of 2020, okay? Now, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to happen. A lot will depend on the quality of this video and how well the titles and thumbnails match up to the promise that I deliver on with those. But that's the idea of appreciating content. Okay, this piece of content can start ranking higher and higher over time. Therefore, it is going to become more valuable. Okay, so that's the first thing I like to think about: appreciating versus depreciating. So let's get back into specifics right now of the ABC content funnel. Excuse me. So I mentioned that there's A content, B content, and C content. Well, A content is going to be the content that's closest to the money. A content is going to be the content that sells your product or your service, okay? A content could be a one-on-one strategy session. It could be a webinar. It could be a video sales letter. It could just simply be your website that sells your product. A lot depends on what you're selling and the price point that you're offering this in. The A content could be the conversation. If you are interested in hiring me one-on-one as your success coach or what have you, you may reach out to me and send me an email and inquire about my rates or what have you. Well, then I enter in a conversation with you where I take into consideration what your goals are to determine if I, in fact, can help you, and then maybe give you some pointers, and we go back and forth until we discover that, yes, it's going to be a good fit, and you hire me as your coach. Well, that's A content. Once again, it can also be a webinar or a VSL, a video sales letter. Oftentimes, this A content is going to be gated content. Like, say, for instance, as a webinar, oftentimes you would collect an email in order to follow up with these prospects who are interested in your services, but probably aren't ready to buy yet. Basically, you are qualifying them and understanding that they are interested in your services. After they receive your A content, whatever that is, you need to have the ability to follow up with them. Well, you have to drive A content from B content. And B content is going to be content that you can control and appreciates. Now, there's two examples of B content. First and foremost, as you're watching it right now, YouTube. My YouTube channel is going to be my B content because I can share my message, I can build my audience, I can build my tribe, and I can reach people with my message. But the other side of it is, once again, we're talking about appreciating content. YouTube, as my channel grows, will start pushing my videos out to more people. As long as I create content that attracts my ideal customer and repels everybody else, well, then it's going to bring people into my funnel, my content funnel, right? Well, then in this video, I've already mentioned my private coaching twice, so you might be interested in it. I'm not deliberately trying to sell it to you or pressuring you to buy it, but I have mentioned it twice. If you are interested, you might go check that out. Okay, that's how B content will drive traffic to A content. The other thing I could do is if I had a free training, which I do, it's at 100kbrands.com. It's a 4-video series that teaches you how I build businesses from scratch and start monetizing them in 28 days or less. Well, you can then opt in, give me your email address, and I'll give you that 4-video training. That will mention my course and services, okay? Once again, we're going to treat YouTube as a search engine. That way, if you are interested in content marketing for your personal brand or to sell your course or to sell your coaching services, hopefully you're going to find this video. Then I know that you are a perfect customer for me. The other way I do that, another piece of B content will be a Facebook group. And this is a Facebook group that you create. I have the Experts Elevated Facebook group. I'll go ahead and link it down in the description below. If you want to come and join, you can join for free. And what that does is that helps experts sell their courses, get more clients, get more coaching opportunities, create their web of influence, build their brand. Okay? When people join that, I know they're interested in exactly what I have to offer, which is my private one-on-one coaching or my courses. Okay? But the cool thing is because it's a Facebook group, Facebook wants people to join groups because when people join groups, they become more engaged with Facebook. They spend more time on Facebook and they can get more accurate data about these people who are in these groups based on their preferences for specific groups, which then Facebook can turn around and sell to advertisers for targeting, okay? So basically, Facebook wants to promote my group to people who will be interested in it and nobody else, and they do this with advanced algorithms. So those are two types of content that are going to appreciate and value because YouTube wants people to watch my video if they are likely to like my video. Facebook wants people to join my group if they are likely to engage in my group. It's going to attract the right people and basically repel everybody else. See, I'm using YouTube's and Facebook's advanced algorithms to do my targeting for me because they're smarter than I am. Okay, they're better at finding the right people than I am. Okay, so that's B content. Now the problem with B content is a YouTube channel with no views and no subscribers or a Facebook group with no members and no engagement. It's not going to be promoted on the platform because it's not going to drive engagement, A, and YouTube and Facebook don't know anything about these two pieces of content, these two platforms, my Facebook group and my YouTube channel. When it's just getting started, they don't know anything about it, and they're not going to risk introducing it to people because they don't know who they need to introduce it to. So what we need to do is we need to seed our pieces of B content with C content. Now, perfect example of how to do this. Let's say the YouTube channel. After this video is uploaded, the first thing I'm going to do is obviously put it in my Facebook group. I'll put it on my Experts Elevated. See, I told you this is brand new. I'll put it on my Experts Elevated Facebook page. But the other thing I'll do is I'll start seeding this in places where traffic already exists. So what I mean by that is I might go over to reddit.com and try to find a subreddit for content marketing. And then I will put this video in that subreddit and recommend people come watch this video. I'm not trying to collect emails at that point. I'm not trying to spam the group. I'm just trying to add value to that subreddit. I'll also go to question and answer site, Quora.com, and I'll search for questions that people have related to content marketing specifically. Well, then I'll answer the question and I'll embed this video in that answer. That way, the only people who are going to come and see this video are going to be people who are obviously in content marketing. That will help YouTube then understand the type of people who would be interested in this video. And then as I continue to get authority with this channel by creating more videos that are going to target the same audience, well, then it's going to know who to recommend this video to. The same thing with the Facebook group. I mentioned my Facebook group in this video. I invite you to come on over to get more information. Well, you found this video because you are probably interested in content marketing. Then when I send you over to the Facebook group, Facebook's going to see a lot of like-minded individuals who all have certain traits, maybe things that you're interested in that are related. Then Facebook's going to know who to promote my group to. Okay? None of this is about posting to Instagram randomly, okay? You're just getting in front of search and finding the right people. C content drives people to B content, which sees the growth. The B content is the content that appreciates, that can create massive value, massive change, and make things happen quickly. And that's where I mention and you mention your services in the form of additional value, a private consultation, so on and so forth. And that's how you deliver traffic to your offers on autopilot using content marketing. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, this was episode 1 of Experts Elevated. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the bell notifications because YouTube has been a little finicky with their subscribers. So if you do want to make sure you get my next video that's going to help you establish your expertise and grow the business of your dreams, make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you actually get notified when I release a video. Don't forget the links in the description below. Check out the Facebook group. And if you are interested in working with me, I'd love to have you. Have a great day. Bye now.